Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another plan with me. In this video, I'm going to be planning out next week. It is also a new month, but I've already done all of my monthly planning. If you want to see my entire process of how I plan my life from start to finish, I did do a video on that. It's almost an hour long, but it's got all of the details about me planning my life, my goals, my business, and all of that from a quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily standpoint. This video is just gonna be those things that I'm doing weekly. So we're gonna start, these are all the things I'm gonna be touching today. My weekly planning pad, my weekly to-do list planner, and then this is my HB90 planner. If you've never heard of HB90, it is a system created by Sarah Cannon over on Heart Breathings is the name of her YouTube channel. I will leave my initial thoughts and review of the program is in that same video of how I plan my life, but I will also leave any additional information linked down below. You can't sign up for the course and for the program until the new quarter. You can buy the planner, but I will tell you, I struggled to really utilize the planner to its full extent until I took the course. Now, I cannot live without it. I do most of my planning in this system digitally at this point, but this is the one page, I'm gonna zoom you in, that I do on paper that I love and use every single week. Now, I'm not gonna lie and pretend that January was perfect because it wasn't even close. And I actually didn't use the system for a lot of January. I had a lot of things going on, but I'm excited to get back into it for February. Again, I've planned out the entire month, but this video is just gonna focus on this next week. And there is a couple days that are still January, but in my brain, this is the first week of February, and that's how she has it set up as well. So like I said, I do a lot of my planning digitally, and I've already done all of what the projects I'm gonna work on this week or tasks in the spreadsheet that I do all that planning in. This is just putting it down on paper because this is what I refer to all week throughout the week and track my time. So I have all of my colors here for all of my various goals, although I'm gonna be honest, I don't have any tasks related to this goal for this particular week. I do later in the month, but not for this week. So we're gonna start, yellow is my recurring tasks and overarching revenue goal. If you wanna hear more about my overarching business goals and what the colors coordinate to, I talk about that in my quarterly goals video. I go through all my personal goals, but then also all my quarterly business goals, and that is what the colors coordinate to. Okay, so for yellow this week, I have 7 projects. So I just put the dots, no, I'm gonna miscount 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I will usually use that as a checkbox that I'll check it off when I'm done with it. I'd love to show you what last week's looked like so you can see a final version of one, but I didn't even set it up last week, so that is where we're at. Okay, and then, no, I'm gonna do the pink one first because this is more important, or these are the things that really need to happen first. So I have 2 for this one, and then I have 2 green ones. And so for this video, I decided to do this setup first so I can talk through all my tasks, and then you're gonna see how I mapped all of those over the course of my week. In terms of this top section, I use this for things that come up in my brain throughout the week. If I think of something I need to do, I'll add it in that top section just so I can track all of my task blocks. Okay, so in terms of my recurring tasks, I have calls. So these are all my one-on-one coaching calls. And this week there are 8 of those. And as long as I don't go too far over, which sometimes I can do when I get chatty, that estimated actual should be pretty darn close. Or it could be less if somebody has an emergency pop up and they have to cancel. So then I have my communication routine and Q&A, and I give myself 6 time blocks for that because I give myself 2 on Monday and then an extra 1 for the Q&A. Then I have the live, which is 4 because I take 1 to set up and 1 to do the recap after. Then I have some admin stuff that I'm currently giving myself 4, partially because I still feel like I'm playing a little bit of catch up from the holidays, which is so silly. Ultimately, I would like that to only be 2. And then plan the next week, I give myself 2. One of the things I struggle with, even though I do operate in these 30-minute task blocks, is I really always have to have it be even numbers. I don't know what my issue is that I need it to be. Oh, I almost wrote another A right there. Analytics. I don't know why I need them to be even numbers. Okay, this is the monthly analytics. The weekly analytics are part of the weekly admin, and then I'm also doing an additional analytics session on a monthly basis. And so I'm trying to do it on the first of the month, depending on where the end of the month falls, so that's what that is. And then prep videos. Trying something new this month related to that, so I've got 6. for that task. And then this next one, I have all of the steps broken down somewhere else. I'm just not writing them all, partially because there's not enough space, but it's all of the Patreon updates. That is I'm gonna run out of space because this is a really thick paper made flare. That is the majority, which is going to take, I've got 14 allocated for this one. And so that's more than the check boxes here. So the way that I'll do it is I'll just do little bitty check marks and not like actually within the boxes. And then finish executing the Patreon bonus. I'm hoping to finish that up. I'm hoping to do a little bit actually this weekend, but if I don't finish it, then I am giving myself a little bit of time next week. And then the green ones are my marketing and systems. So the first one is the digital declutter. Last month I made the plan and now I'm gonna start executing on the plan. So I'm giving myself for a week to kind of start executing. I know that's like, it's gonna take me a while because some of that was triage. If you're in the Patreon group, I posted that in the Facebook group of what that looks like. And some of it is triage, and that's kind of what I'm gonna be doing here. And then I have a marketing email that I want to send. So I give myself, probably two. Again, two is probably really unnecessary for that. I could probably get it done in one, but I need like even numbers. So my total task blocks for the week that are available are 56. And then again, I will track this as I go throughout the week, how many I use, and like do all of the totals at the end of the week. All right, now on to planning out my week. I think I'm gonna use this teal color since I didn't use it on the other one. And this is my notepad that I created that I made basically to be perfect for myself. And let's start with my AM routine. And if you're seeing this, you're like, Laken, you're not getting up at 6 a.m. I believe this video is going up before a day in the life that I just filmed yesterday or 2 days ago that's coming out. And I talked in that video how I'm in a little bit of a cycle with like going to bed later and then sleeping in. And right now I'm just gonna work with it. So for now, I am planning for my AM routine to be from 8 to 10. And I would like to shift that back. But given that we are about to move, I'm not prioritizing that. And I kind of, again, talked about that a little bit in that video. So what I wrote this past week is I just, in like big letters, wrote sleep in across the top here. And I mean, I'm a little bit repetitive. You're gonna hear it in that vlog. But part of it is like we're spending time with people in the evenings since we're about to move. And then I just don't really want to force it because we are about to move and our routines are just going to be shaken up anyway. So I just decided to let it go in the terms of our friend Elsa. And I'm just trying to go with it right now. And that's why the number for like 56 might look low because I have been sleeping in. And so I'm not starting my workday until later than I want to. And that's why that number is lower. Depending on my energy levels, because I am sleeping in, I might work a little bit later and do a little bit more than what I have mapped out, but I would rather be realistic and accomplish everything I set out to than be overambitious and fall short. All right, so let's start with the things that are time scheduled. So on Monday, I've got 3 calls, one at 12, one at 1:30, and another one at 2. Actually, now that I look a little bit closer, I think that 1:31 is actually at 1:15, which it's fine. It is what it is. When I set up my day, I'll be a little bit more specific about that. And then on Tuesday, I have 1 at 1. On Wednesday, it's just the live. I actually don't have any calls on Wednesday. And then I have 3 on Thursday. Actually, now that I remember, I did give myself a little bit of extra time. Like I put 8 for calls on here when really there's only 7 calls, just to give myself a little bit of a buffer there. So I've got 1 at 12, 1 at 1. I always like struggle to fit her name in with this thick flare. And then 1 at 5. And then that's it in terms of, oh, and then we also have the silent co-working on Thursday. Okay, those are the things that are scheduled. And now I'm gonna go in and put in the tasks that I want to do each day. And I feel like I've explained this a bunch of times, but in case you haven't heard me say it before, on my Google Cal, I have it, which is what I'm referencing while I'm working on this. I have it all mapped out in terms of how long I think things are going to take. That's not how I put it on this page because I don't wanna feel pressure to fitting it into that time. So I just put little to-do list check marks, and I'm gonna again start them at 10. That way I like I'm gonna do my AM routine from 8 to 10. I should have actually written my AM routine more in the middle. That's what I did last week. I don't know. I wasn't really thinking. So on Monday, there are 3. I'm gonna try to just do 1 in the morning before all of the calls. And then I'm gonna do the other 2 after the calls. So it's the admin, that's the 4 hours, or not 4 hours, 4 task blocks, 2 hours there. And then communication and that email. It's probably almost time to retire this Paper Mate Flare. And then on Tuesday, I'm gonna go ahead and put both of them here in the morning, even though I probably won't worry about getting to my communication routine until like in the afternoon. It's just gonna be a bunch of Patreon updates on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I'm gonna do 2 things before the live. I'm gonna do the bonus. I'm gonna do the monthly analytics since it's the first of the month. I'm also gonna struggle to write that, but for obvious reasons, did not want to abbreviate it. And then after the live, I do the recap and then my communication routine. And then I have a little bit of a buffer there. Right now, I have scheduled to do more of the Patreon updates if I need to. I also always feel like kind of drained after the live is over. So if I can finish the updates by then, that would be really great. And then I can just do what I feel like doing. Maybe it's packing or whatever on Wednesday, but we'll see. And then on Thursday, the biggest thing I'm gonna do in the morning is prep the videos. And then I'm gonna kind of finish that around all these other calls and during the co-working session. And then after that, I'm gonna squeeze in hopefully 3 things right there. I'm gonna squeeze in the Q&A answers, which I'm moving from Tuesdays to Thursdays, the communication routine, and planning for the next week. Although I have planning on Thursday because I've always left Friday as a buffer day. That's just what's worked for me. Part of that though is because I had dance on Thursday nights and I was going out with my friends a lot on Thursday nights. So I liked having Friday as a buffer. Now I'm actually scheduling stuff on Fridays. So really, I probably should be scheduling plan on Fridays as well. So the 2 things that I've got scheduled for Friday are the digital declutter. I'm just gonna put DD. And then actually my personal goals, like working on some personal stuff. And then in terms of weekend plans, we actually don't have any weekend plans next weekend, which is kind of bizarre. Given how much we're trying to squeeze in, I feel like I have a lot of stuff for later in the month, but one of the things literally tomorrow, as of the day I'm filming this video, is our going away party. And I'm planning to literally sit there with my Google Cal and make plans with anybody and everyone that comes, like one-on-one plans with them. So I anticipate some of these evening and weekend slots will get filled with some social stuff. But right now I actually don't have anything planned. And then the last part of my weekly setup is this weekly to-do planner, which has been working out well for me. I mentioned this when I showed my planner stack video back in December, that I have been using a weekly to-do list since, maybe August. I feel like it was since we got home from the honeymoon. And that's been working really well for me. And so when Golden Coil offered to send me a 2023 planner, I picked this layout specifically for that. It has been working out well, but just using a notebook worked fine for me as well. I like though being able, because it's so thick, I like set it up in my little tray on my desk so I can see it at all times. So right now I mostly just have the stuff that I do every single week, which gets a little bit repetitive when I write it over and over again. But on Mondays, it's watering the plant and updating Calendly. And then on Wednesdays, it's scheduling the live. And then right now on Thursdays, it's been doing my finances, which again, I was doing on Thursdays because I was not necessarily working every Friday, but now I think I might want to move that to Friday. And then in terms of my other February weekly goals, it's just working out and then a bubble bath, which I'm not scheduling like an exact day to do that. So I'm just gonna put it in this general to-do section. And then the rest of these general to-dos will fill up on Sunday or Monday, depending on what I get done this weekend, as well as on like throughout the week, I will think of stuff and I will fill that in. So that is gonna be it for now. Those are the 3 kind of steps to me setting up my week. Hopefully you found this video helpful, seeing my process kind of actually mapped out. If you did, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear I'll show you what last week's look like. Look like. Let me try that again. These on my, I can't even,